Just like that, we're back. Views from Section 400. Matt and Brian in this one. Jack, MIA at the moment. Not quite sure if he'll be making an appearance, but we'll wait and see. I know I went MIA and made an appearance one time mid-show. We'll see if he jumps in mid-show or if it's Brian and I taking you through all the uninterrupted sports conversation.
Yeah, just like our alumni's baseball team, Jack is nowhere to be found. So hopefully he's okay, but we'll see.
Updates to follow. But nonetheless, it is Views from Section 400. It is the weekly show. In this one, we always do winners and losers. So without further ado, I do also want to mention one more thing. It is Brian's wedding week. He's getting married. So congratulations to you, buddy. Absolutely going to be a very special weekend. Can't wait to celebrate. The drinks will be flowing. It'll be a very emotional, heartfelt, loving, awesome weekend. Super excited for it. But Brian will go off the grid for a little bit, as he should. Wedding, honeymoon, the whole thing. Jack and I are going to hold it down. Hopefully Jack's okay. It will be a one-man show, which is doable. Hopefully I don't have to. But yeah, Brian will be off the grid for a little bit, maybe for the next show or two or about a week and a half. It's okay. You're in good hands. And yeah, jump right into it.
I appreciate the kind words, and I have full faith in you and Jack and our editor Will to hold it down while I'm gone, drinking those fruity drinks down there in the Caymans.
Maybe at least, and not every day, but maybe we get one zoom in from the Cayman Islands from Brian on the honeymoon to get some kind of reaction from something. That would be pretty fun. But winners and losers is what we get into every week. Brian is going to be here for this one. So his final winners and loser, before he gets married, Brian, how are you going out with a bang?
I kind of hate that you introduced it like that because I didn't love writing this winner, and you'll see why in a minute. But it's going to be A.J. Brown of none other than the Philadelphia Eagles, which I hate doing it. I hate giving a winner to one of the Philadelphia teams, but I had to after seeing this story. So the Eagles, they did a 10K bike ride to raise money for, I think the organization's called Autism Challenge, but great cause, great event, a bunch of players there, coaches, staff, and a bunch of fans. But it's a 10K bike ride, and everybody in attendance did the 10K on a normal bike, pedaling up and down hills, putting it all on the line to ride these bikes. A.J. Brown gets done, hasn't broken a sweat, has this cool bike. The reporter goes up to him and he's like, AJ, how'd you like the ride? Like, you look like it was easy work. Like, are you just, your training program's that good in the off season? He goes, oh, it's an electric bike.
Hey man, chess, not checkers.
He said, work smarter, not harder. That was his quote.
There you go. There you go, right there. Still was out there, still a great cause. He just, finessed, I guess would be the best way. Finessed the system on that one.
Yeah, all these just probably staffers for the Eagles and fans are just huffing and puffing it on their bikes and just watching A.J. Brown in the best shape of them all, just gliding on an e-bike.
I was going to say, it's funny because probably the guy who could do it the easiest, get it done the easiest, assistance with the bike essentially doing the pedaling and doing all the work for him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's something in his contract where he can't ride bikes because there's an injury, but
yeah, maybe it's, hey, if you get injured doing non-football related things, contracts voided or whatever. So he just protected his money.
Big time winner this week, A.J. Brown. Work smarter, not harder.
There you go. Who'd you have losing the week there?
So this is a tough one because he's kind of a winner, but he's also a loser here. So my loser is hit streaks, and it's Ketel Marte. He's in the midst of a career-high 20-game hit streak, but he's only had multiple hits in 2 of those games. So he started this hit streak batting .309 for the season. He's now 20 games in. He's batting .289. He's batting .264 during a 20-game hit streak.
Yeah, just slapping singles, going 1 for 4 every night. If you play beat the streak, he's been a great guy to pick every night, but the average is dropping while the hit streak is increasing. It's just how baseball goes sometimes.
He's technically in a slump and he's in a 20-game hit streak. It just doesn't make any sense.
Baseball, man. Weird sport, but that's why you gotta love it, right? But I had a couple of winners and losers myself here, and my winner is going to be, I don't know if this is a winner, it's kind of a winner, but Shohei Ohtani meeting Cam Brink, and more, I guess the winner part is he was absolutely rizzing her up, dude. I mean, this guy can barely speak English, and he had her giggling the entire conversation, which I don't know if it was a nervous giggle because they had about 50 cameras pointed at him, snapping pictures. And, it's pretty hard to hold like a legitimate, try to be personable, have a genuine conversation while you have all those cameras pointed at you. So, people say, oh, they looked awkward or all this or all that. But it's like, that's a tough thing to do, meeting somebody for the first time, trying to have a genuine conversation. And there's all those cameras. So good for them to stay composed. And W for Ohtani for the W Riz that he put on. I thought that was pretty cool to say.
Yeah, just another tally in the win column for a guy that's just on top of the world right now. Gets out of
On
a
top of the world.
scandal, hitting 360, all the home runs. And he must have been on Duolingo or something because he looked good. He looked comfortable speaking English.
He was, yeah. I mean, they had an exchange. She was like, "Who's taller?" And he looks and he goes, "Probably you." So it was funny. He's got a good personality and some bit of sense of humor there. So, like you said, just add it to the W list for Ohtani. The guy has a long list. So good for him. Cool to see. And yeah, rolling into the loser of the week, which I guess this happened months ago, a lot of months ago, back in October, so technically last year. But it surfaced this year because, or this week, because LaMelo Ball is getting sued. Now you might say, why is he getting sued? Back in October, when he was leaving a game, I believe, he ran over a fan's foot, and not any fan, an 11-year-old's foot. Apparently, he was flying out of, I guess, the stadium or wherever he was, and ran a red light doing it, had no intention to stop, ran over this 11-year-old's foot. I think the lawyer said this 11-year-old looks up to LaMelo. It's his idol. It's his hero. And he got ran over by his idol and his hero. So L for LaMelo Ball. He's getting sued this week for running over a kid.
Yeah, just another another bad headline for the big baller brand. I didn't think it could get any worse for LeVar and Lonzo and LiAngelo. Who knows where he is? He's out there shooting bricks in some Chinese dungeon.
Yeah,
But
LiAngelo, who knows what's going on? He's got to turn into like a reality TV star, TikTok influencer, or whatever, because basketball is not what's going to pay his bills. Who's the other one? Lonzo. Is that guy even going to play again? I mean, he's been injured, it feels like, for like 2 years.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
that
think
guy, like,
I think he's the only person that has been healthier during COVID in his playing career than he is now.
I mean, that guy hasn't been on a court in who knows how long. So LaMelo's their last hope, and he ran over a kid.
Apparently, he was just running a red light, recklessly pulling out of the player's lot. It's just you can't do that.
Can't do that. Like, be more self-aware. When you give these guys this much attention, this much money at such a young age, their obviously brain isn't developed, not fully matured. Basically, ran over a kid's foot. So, got to do a little better there, LaMelo. Obviously, it happened a little while ago, but this week surfaced that he is now being sued. Hopefully, he makes things right. Give the kids some money, give the fan maybe some extra signed jerseys, tickets, whatever you got to do to make that situation right. But that's the winners and losers. That's Brian's final winner and loser before getting married this weekend. So definitely a more special winner and loser, but nonetheless, the winners and losers by Section 400. We'll see you guys in the next one, which will look a little bit different as whenever Brian comes back, he'll be married, and we'll go from there. But good stuff. Obviously, we have to jump in to the NBA playoffs. We had game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, Pacers and Celtics last night. And tonight, as we record, or as all you are watching this, we'll know the result of the Mavericks and Timberwolves out there in Minnesota. But first, we'll jump in to the Pacers and Celtics. Pacers had every right to win that game, should have won that game. Jaylen Brown hits the ridiculous three at the end to send it to overtime. And you kind of just knew when he hit that three, going to overtime did not do the Pacers any favors. You knew it was not going to be a good situation for them having to go to overtime, especially on the road there in Boston. And yeah, it didn't work out. They lost in overtime. And, I don't know if you guys saw our question of the day. I said, which major sport is more rigged through officiating, the NFL and the NBA, which I think both of them, out of all the sports, that's the two most that are rigged through officiating. You call it a conspiracy theory, you call it whatever you want. Look at all those, referees in the NFL that throw flags that shouldn't be flags and rig games through that. And then last night, how did the Celtics, they're going to the free throw line 30 times and the Pacers go 10 times. I understand you can say, well, the flow of the game, this or that, but it shouldn't be that big of a difference, especially in the playoffs. What do you think on that, Brian?
It's the NBA, the stars are always going to get the calls, and it's Jason Tatum just whining his ass off, getting to the line. That's how he gets his 30. He only gets like 15 real points, and then he has to make 15 free throws. But
I mean, that was ridiculous. 30 free throw attempts to the Pacers 10. That's too far. That's too far of a difference.
Even with the ref show, like the Pacers had that game, and they blew it. It's hard to blow a game like the Pacers did. They had 2 turnovers in the last 30 seconds of the game, 2 possessions with under 30 seconds to go, and they turned it over twice. And then the first time they got bailed out. Second time, of course, Jaylen Brown gets the 8th all-time Mike Breen double bang call. All started back when Steph hit the shot against the Thunder from like half court way back in the day.
Yeah, it was cool back in the day. It feels a little forced now. I would love to see what people think about that when I say that, because I know people love Mike Breen and love the call, but I don't know. It just seems a little forced now.
I maybe sometimes. I don't know. I still love the bang calls.
I agree, and I don't hate it either. But when I listened to it last night, it seemed a little forced. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah, I guess I didn't like it last night because I hated that he made the shot.
Right.
So that might have had something to do.
So maybe that has a little bit to do with it as well. But yeah, man. I mean, do you think the Pacers have any shot at turning this around? I thought if they won game 1, it would have ruffled the Celtics up a bit, and maybe they have a chance to make the series interesting. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers get absolutely blown out in game 2.
Well, I was in the mindset of they're automatically going to win game 2. So if they win game 1, they're going up 2-0, and they're going back home where they haven't lost in the postseason. Like they may sweep the Celtics, but now I still think we see the gentleman sweep. I think they're going to get game 2. My issue with the Pacers, though, watching, and I've watched them all year. I did have Tyrese Halliburton to win the MVP, which people forget that wasn't a great future bet of mine. But when he gets angry, I guess the best word is unserious. Like when LeBron gets mad or when Jordan would get mad, you could kind of tell that his teammates were kind of rattled and like ready to go. I don't know if it's Halliburton's voice or just like the fact he's tall and skinny, but when he gets mad on the broadcast, I kind of it looks funny. Like if I was his teammate, I might laugh seeing him yell.
Yeah, he definitely, and I guess that comes with, having to grow up a little more. He still is pretty young, right? I mean, what's he, 24?
Yeah, he's
how old the guy? 25 maybe. I mean, I know he's not older, so that comes with gaining some more respect and having a little bit more of a veteran presence. But yeah, I mean, I guess he doesn't look like a scary pissed off leader when they need him to be.
No, yeah, I guess Miles Turner can kind of be like that, but he seems more soft spoken too. So they need that kind of, maybe TJ McConnell just needs to start yelling at people.
Maybe. I mean, you could say, hey, he's, not very good, but he plays hard and he wants to win. You can show he cares. It shows that he cares when he plays. So, maybe they need him to start blowing smoke up people's rear ends to get them locked in.
Yeah, they need some kind of guy to get them. Because it's just, Tyrese is not that dude. And he's a great player, but he's just not that.
Yeah. I don't know that he can be that veteran scared leader, but yeah, I mean, that's the Pacers Celtics game 1. We'll see how that series turns out. Pacers should have won, shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's crunch time. It's conference finals. You gotta close games out regardless of the way the game's being officiated. They weren't able to do it. Drop game one, and it's going to be a tough hill to climb against the Celtics, who everybody has touted to make the finals.
Last thing on the Celtics, Peyton Pritchard may have out TJ McConnell in the last game. He was just running around being, as the dads like to say, a gritty guy, gritty glue guy.
Gritty glue guy.
He's every 50-year-old NBA fan's favorite player in these playoffs. He's efficient. He didn't turn the ball over, and he played 11 minutes and scored 8 points. Just a quick shout out to Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, way to go, Pritchard, for being annoying, I guess. But I mean, I want to jump over to the Mavs and Timberwolves because that game, will have already happened when people watch this. It's going on tonight as we record. But, I think we see Luka come out and just have an unbelievable game. Wouldn't be surprised if he has a triple-double. I think you can get it at right under plus 500, maybe right around plus 480. But I think we see some Luka magic tonight.
The only thing I'll say with that is it's going to be tough to get the rebound with Rudy Gobert on the other side. But I'm going to stick with the Timberwolves. I said Ant Edwards would score 55 the other night. I think he had 16. So he's due to get me at least 30 tonight. And as much as I love Kyrie, Ant's on a mission, man. What they did to end that Nuggets game with the alley-oop and whatever you want to call it, if it was showboating or not, they I think care the most out of anybody as a full unit in these playoffs, maybe other than the Celtics, but at least in the West, I just think they get it done.
They seem like they're locked in the most, I guess would be the best way to put that. But
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much really to touch on other than, we'll see how the game fares out. I want to see Luka have a Luka Magic night and go off. It'll be tough on the road. It's in Minnesota. It'll be tough in Minnesota. And like you said, Ant Edwards is absolutely locked in. So it should be a great series nonetheless, but it'll be interesting to see who wins.
Yeah. And I know Jack's a big, and we kind of all are, the winner of this series is probably going to win it all just because the West is that much better. So this is kind of, in a way, the true NBA Finals.
Yeah. I mean, we've been saying it pretty much all playoffs is that, hey, look, whoever wins the West is probably going to win it all. I hope, because I don't want Boston to win, but regardless of bias and not liking Boston, I really do feel that those are the better teams out there in the Western Conference.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, look, conference finals should be electric either way. We'll see what happens. But we do have another playoffs going on, and that's over there on the ice with the NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs, as you will. I half-heartedly said I want to see the Canucks make a run and win. More because Brian said no team from the Pacific Northwest will win another title, and that would have been very fitting if the Canucks, right after him saying that, went for Stanley Cup championship. But Edmonton's still close, still out there in the Pacific Northwest, on the border. Brian's going to say it's not. But yeah, Oilers and Stars play tomorrow, or I guess it would be tonight as you're watching this, and then tonight or last night when you're watching this, the Rangers and the Panthers get to face off. So I guess we can see and kind of go back and forth here on who's going to win each series. The Rangers and the Panthers, I mean, dude, this might be a flip-flop from the NBA of the winner of that series might win it all.
Yeah, well, the winner of that series is going to be the Rangers because Jack's not here and I can shit on the Panthers as much as I want now. It hasn't worked for me in the past. I did say the Bruins would sweep the Panthers, and obviously that didn't happen. But the Rangers are on the good juju. They were stronger than the Storm last series. Although the Storm did fight back and force a Game 7. That was almost really bad. But the Rangers, we're due for a team that won the President's Trophy to win the Cup. And that's exactly what the Rangers can do here.
Yeah, I don't want to see the Rangers win it all. I'd rather see the Panthers take that series. And look, is this the year the Oilers finally get it done? They are known choke artists in the playoffs, conference finals. Whenever they get there, seems to be a choke. Draisaitl and McDavid are a great combo. I know I said earlier on, Cale Makar and Nathan MacKinnon are the best duo in the NHL. Oilers are getting it done right now, and Draisaitl and McDavid as a duo is no joke. But look at the Stars, man. I mean, they had a great year. I thought they were going to be frauds. They almost choked out of the first round, having to go to 7 games with the Golden Knights. Found a way to get through that series, and now they're in prime position with home ice. I believe they're the home team in this
Yeah,
because they were the 1 seed. So with home ice for the Western Conference Finals, I think the Stars can get it done.
yeah, I do like the Stars. I gave out the Oilers as like my after the Maple Leafs went out, so I am holding out hope for them. The one takeaway from this series I have, so friend of the program, Brock, big Dallas fan, he's going to be in a little bit of his own fire fest during the wedding day on Saturday because he might have the Mavs and the Stars both playing during the wedding, and there are going to be no TVs at that reception. So I don't know what he's going to do, what kind of stress he's going to be under, but he's going to be in hell.
Hey, man, that's why they have streaming apps on your phone. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, maybe he could. I think they did implement the multi-view YouTube TV on the phone, so I don't know how what kind of vision Brock has, but he might have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe bring the iPad and have a dual screen setup at the dinner table.
Could be an iPad kid, sit him at the kids' table.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll put it this way: if this was your wedding weekend and the Philly teams were playing in it, 1,000%. Hell, if it was my own wedding day, I'd fucking have it up on my phone. So I definitely can relate if it's your squad and they're this deep in the season, not only the season but the playoffs. You gotta watch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him if he has a stream up there. If the Mets were in Game 7 of the World Series, I mean, first of all, I'd never get married around the World Series, but we might have to move the date. It's just listen, I get it. If there's one person that gets it, it's going to be the guys in Section 400.
It's going to be the guys in 400, and that's the bottom line. But either way, that's the NHL playoffs. I'm thinking it's going to be a Panthers Stars Stanley Cup final. You think what? It's going to be Rangers Stars?
I'll go Rangers Oilers. Let's just be completely different here.
Just to be completely different. Definitely could be the case. I've been fading the Oilers all playoffs. I always said they're frauds and they'll choke, but it's going to be tough to get through the Stars. We'll see if they can do it. If they can, should I mean either way, the finals should be pretty good because both sets of teams have the ability to win it all. I think the Panthers might be the best team out of the four remaining, and then the Stars being in second. The Rangers are really good too, though. It's tough to differentiate all of them. So it's going to be interesting, but that's kind of what we have there for the NHL playoffs. We'll keep covered and stay on top of that as those series unfold, with Game 1 of the Rangers Panthers being tonight. Moving on to, I guess, a little NFL MLB. Brian, you saw that Aaron Rodgers picked the Yankees over the Mets. Did he come out and say something about that? Did he wear a Yankees hat that rubbed you the wrong way? I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, he was at a Yankees game in one of the, I don't know if it was the owner's box or one of the boxes up there, wearing the Yankees cap, just full blown Yankeed out. I hope he ruptures his other Achilles.
Some might say it's harsh. Some might say that's just why we love sports. But there's Brian's prediction for Aaron Rodgers this year to blow out his other Achilles.
The Jets can't have nice things, and it would be somewhat comical if it happened. They're playing on 9/11 again, so if he comes out with the flag and then ruptures his other Achilles again,
That'll be bad juju.
I mean,
Maybe they shouldn't even have.
how much bad juju can I put on myself? The Giants are going to be bad enough.
I know. It's you're asking for it, but hey, you're playing with fire, and I respect it.
I mean, worst case scenario, the quarterback gets hurt again, and then we get to see Tommy Cutlets. I think he's still on the team. He might have gotten cut, but he might still be there, and I'd love to see a couple more weeks of Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's a fun story when your football team's not that good. It's something to take your mind off some things. But yeah, I mean, in terms of MLB talk, the Phillies are still red hot, still beating teams. They beat the Rangers last night. I know they were down early tonight 2-0. They came back tied and actually took the lead 3-2. I don't know what the score is right now, but look, they're red hot. Alec Boehm is blossoming into a superstar, which who knew that would happen. Playing good defense, holding down the hot corner, batting well into the 300s, on pace for 140 or 150 RBI. Obviously, it won't play out that way, but you know, at this rate, he should finish well above 100 RBI in the season, which is a big milestone for him.
Yeah, the Phillies. I think Bohm is on the same pace right now as Ryan Howard was when he won the MVP in terms of RBIs. So that really needs to. That tells you all you need to know about the kind of season he's having.
Yeah, and look, Harper just finally started to get going. He's having a ridiculous month in May. I think he has five homers in the on the month, which is a good number to be at. Batting, I think 350. The OPS is through the roof. Look, they're playing good fundamental baseball. They're playing for each other. They don't even have Trey Turner right now. Edmundo Sosa, Whit Merrifield, Cody Clemens. Who would have thought that guy would come into a shell and provide good depth and swinging a hot bat, getting on base, playing solid defense, and they're just getting it done as a team. They're finding ways to win. They're not quitting. They get leads early, and the pitching staff has been lights out.
Yeah, they got me a little bit rattled. Not fully rattled yet, but I think my rattle meter is about like 7. So it's getting up there.
It's getting up there. It's getting up there. They're definitely it's going to be a fun summer in Philadelphia for baseball, and we're obviously hoping it continues into Red October, which that's when Views for 400 originated, was Red October, and you guys remember those videos. So you can only imagine it's going to be that much more exciting once October runs around, and those Fightins are playing in front of a sold-out Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm not going to say I'm hoping for it, but I am hoping for a round deeper of a run and then a complete collapse for the content, just for the content, and to see you get sad again.
So a high to so low, so quickly. It's a shame, but hey, that's why we do it. I'm excited about this team. I have full confidence. They should I mean, the Dodgers and Yankees are right there with them in terms of record. I guess technically the Phillies do have the best record, but the Yankees and Dodgers are right up there with them. I mean, those are the 3 best teams probably. So we'll see how I think the Yankees come to Philadelphia mid-July. So that'll be an interesting test to see kind of what goes on. I know Juan Soto always kills the Phillies and always seems to hit a home run anytime he plays them. So he'll be back in CBP, where he's very familiar with that stadium, the layout, and the whole 9 yards. So we'll see how that kind of tails out. But yeah, I mean, the Phillies are on a roll. Let's just keep it going.
Yeah, I guess I'll address the Mets just really quickly.
I was going to say, can we get a Mets update?
Just got swept by the Guardians, and in Game 3 they were up 3-0. Andres Jimenez, who was, I guess you can say infamously now, traded for Francisco Lindor, hit a 3-run home run to tie the game at 3, and then the Guardians won. Francisco Lindor is hitting 196.
Did the Guardians win that trade?
Right up.
I mean, 3 years ago, you would say that it's not even a question. What kind of question is that? The Guardians might have won that trade.
And the only saving grace is Ahmed Rosario has bounced around the league since then. So he's really nothing. But Cookie Carrasco might have been a net negative in that deal for the Mets. He also got a win this weekend. He pitched against the Mets and got a win.
Yeah, but now he's on the IL.
And he came back.
Carlos Carrasco?
Yeah, he pitched Saturday. No, it would have been Tuesday.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to pitch last night, and he got pulled from his start and then went on the IL.
Oh, then maybe he wasn't pitching. Shows you how much I've just tuned out this ball club right now.
Yeah, so I think he was supposed to face his former team, and he got pulled and then got put on the IL. I mean, that guy's full of injuries himself. But yeah, I mean, some will say that, hey, they didn't want to hurt his mental health or his mental ego. If he got shelled against the Mets, there might not have been any coming back for him.
Kind of hard to get shelled against the Mets right now.
It's kind of hard for that to happen.
21 and 28. Not great.
Let's talk about this new segment that will wrap up the show here. You down?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, new segment that we want to start doing here as, summer gets a little slower for sports. We'll have a lot of baseball and, golf will be there. We're huge golf guys. I got my golf Nike polo collared shirt on today, rocking and rolling. And, summer gets a little slow, so why not do some fun? It's called the 4 in 400, usually top four of whatever topic, we can think of. If you want to give us some suggestions in the comments below of what you might want to see on 4 and 400, we'll have those debates and pick our top four of whatever topic it can be. Fast food restaurants, anything. In this one, we're doing the top four quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Keeping it light, keeping it simple. Pretty big topic because there's a lot of different ways you could go with this one. But yeah, Brian, why don't you kick us off in the first ever 4 and 400 top four quarterbacks right now in the NFL?
Giving me first pick here?
Yeah, why not?
All right, so it'll
Well,
be
what do you mean? I thought we're going 1 through 4.
it's gonna be a snake draft.
Oh, I thought we were just going through like who's your top four, who's my top four, then who's Jack's top four.
No, because we can't repeat. So we only get our own set of players.
I see. All right. I mean, yeah, I'll give it to you. It's your wedding week. The only time I'll give you one.
All right, well, with the first overall pick, I will take the best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy one. I assume all three of us would go with that option. And honestly, if you don't pick him number one, you don't know ball, man. I mean, he's 3-time Super Bowl champ. I think he's 26 or 27 years old, still very young. On pace as it stands, could be right up there with Brady, maybe surpass Brady's Super Bowl totals. I don't know that I want to keep seeing Mahomes up there winning championships. I'm already sick of it. Granted, because he already beat the Eagles too in the Super Bowl in a game that the Eagles very well had every right to win. So that was annoying. But I guess I'm for 2 and 3 right now. And at 2, I would go with Lamar Jackson. And at 3, I would take a healthy Joe Burrow.
Okay. I was hoping you would forget about Burrow and I could steal Burrow in the second round here, but that's a good two picks right there. Not as much playoff success with Lamar. So I don't know if I want to go to playoff success for my picks here, and maybe that sways the vote in my favor.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Lamar's got 2 MVPs.
Yeah, that's also true. I think there's 2 guys I have to go with, but I'm also going against what I just said with the playoff success thing. But they're just so good. I'm going to go with Josh Allen and CJ Stroud as my second and third.
So I mean, I hate that you took Stroud there because I had him right there at number 4, just based on how he played, and I thought that would have been a little bit of a controversial pick. But so I'm glad you picked him because he I think he's right in there on that list and should be. But I guess for a 4, I had Lamar and Joe Burrow. It's tough. There's a couple names you could go with. I was gonna say CJ Stroud. A lot of people are going to kill me for bias, but I'm going to take Jalen Hurts. Especially in that offense.
I was hoping you wouldn't be biased and I could grab Hurts. I already talked about an Eagle in this pod already, so I'm already in too deep. So I was just going to take him too. But that's a good one. All right, so you're at Hurts, Burrow, and Lamar.
Yep.
And I have Mahomes, Stroud, and Josh Allen.
Yep.
I think you get 2 here, and then I get the last one.
I get 2 here.
Yeah.
So my last one, I would take again, couple guys you could go with, couple I had on the list, but I think the glaring one is going to be a healthy Justin Herbert.
I wanted him too. He just fucked up my whole draft. That was who I had in the rear view. Okay. You say healthy Justin Herbert. This makes me kind of think about this guy. All right, well, I guess you can't pick anymore, so I could talk this out, make for some decent podcasting instead of just me thinking in my head.
Yeah, well, let's go through who you had, right? You had Mahomes, Stroud, and Allen.
Yep.
So you have one more.
So I'm between Tyler when he's healthy.
People are going to say Jared Goff should be up there.
Yeah, I was thinking Jordan Love over Goff, but maybe Goff.
You can't. I mean, dude, I looked it up. The QBR. I think Brock Purdy had the best QBR, but is he
No.
Is he the best quarterback?
I'm not putting Purdy in there. If people call Tom Brady a system quarterback, Brock Purdy is the true, like, what people think Tom Brady was is what Brock Purdy is.
And he's going to get paid, or did he already get paid?
I don't think he has yet, but he's due for it.
But he's due for some money. And like you said, very systematic quarterback. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Jordan Love. It really, like, we took a lot of the big guys off the board here. Really kind of, you have Jared Goff's out there. You have Jordan Love, Kyler Murray,
Could go Stafford too.
Stafford.
Daniel Jones.
All right, relax. A healthy Aaron Rodgers.
I just said I hope he tears his Achilles. I can't draft him on my team.
No, you can't.
There's also Tua.
Tua, unconcussed Tua.
Okay, I'm gonna take Tua and I'm gonna put on the graphic just so everyone knows unconcussed. So that's my list.
So you see Tua. So you have Mahomes, Allen, Stroud, Tua. I took Lamar, Burrow, Hurts, and Herbert. I think those are two pretty good lists there. Let us know. You guys can vote on who has the better four quarterbacks. I don't know. I mean, I like my list because it's guys who are kind of proven in the NFL, have some years under their belt. Tua, I guess he's kind of proven, but Stroud only one good year. Josh Allen, great quarterback, but Bills have choked in the playoffs. And then Mahomes is, the best out of the eight we just talked about.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I do think at least when we do sports related 4 and 400s and you take any Philadelphia athletes, I might be at a little disadvantage. Me and Jack once Jack gets on here. But I'm hoping the people are a little bit unbiased here, at least the Philly people that follow us and can take our lists and look at them unbiasedly.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I think more bias would have been if because there was a point not too long ago where it was, Mahomes, and people were saying Hurts right at two.
Yep.
So I could have went, Hurts with the second pick. I didn't. Went Lamar and Burrow, and then kind of wrapped it up with Herbert there.
I think it's a good list. And like Matt said, let us know what topics you want us to debate as the summer rolls along. It'll get only more contentious when Jack joins us and we have three of us picking because the picks are going to be a lot tougher.
Well, then Brian might have to take Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just to kind of wrap it up, if you want to go through it, right? Like Mahomes versus Lamar, you probably lean Mahomes. Then you can say CJ Stroud versus Burrow. That's tough.
That is tough. Well, I'd go Allen versus Burrow and call it a draw.
Allen versus Burrow. Yeah, I mean, that's tough. I think I'm leaning Burrow, but we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, we can.
But I do like I actually I don't hate the draw aspect there. I really don't. I think a draw is a good way to put it.
If Burrow won that Super Bowl, I'd give it to Burrow. But
Right. I agree. Stroud, CJ Stroud versus Jalen Hurts.
it depends what kind of trajectory you're looking at. Because CJ Stroud could be better than Jalen Hurts, but right now,
Right. That's why it's tough having Stroud in there because only such a small sample size to go off of. Has everything that he needs this year. Made do with what he had last year. I mean, didn't he break the rookie passing yards record?
He should have.
That guy was throwing for over 300 yards with ease every game last year.
He could have won MVP if he didn't get hurt. I would have
He had a
argued
good
he
shot.
should have won MVP.
Yeah. So Hurts obviously has crazy offense with AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Goddard's there. The O-line should, even though they lost Kelsey, should be good. Saquon Barkley in the backfield. Jalen Hurts has everything he needs at his disposal for that offense to run like a well-oiled machine. So Hurts probably has the better roster, which is why I would lean him to be better. But CJ Stroud, I mean, that's not a knock on him. I mean, that's another one you could say draw.
The Texans' offense is pretty fucking loaded now.
I know with Stephon Diggs and
They got Mixon
I guess
there.
who they have, Joe Mixon.
Yep. Collins and Tank Dell are still there. Dalton Schultz at tight end.
Yeah, I mean, very good team, and the defense I guess, played well last year, or was it did they kind of get smoked?
No, they played well. They led the league in sacks towards the end.
Yeah, Will Anderson's a great player on the edge.
Yeah, they have the former Eagle too, Stingley. He was getting a bunch of sacks.
Pretty solid. But yeah, I mean, that's the 4 in 400. We're going to try and implement that segment into some of the pods here as the summer months go on. Let us know below what 4 in 400 top four you guys want to hear next when we get Jack back involved. Hopefully, it'll be a little more crazier debates because it won't be as easy to pick these options. But other than that, that's the views from section 400. I'm Matt. Brian, always locked in. Wedding weekend is upon us. We'll lose Brian off the grid for a little bit, but he'll be back sooner rather than later, and we'll be back to a full crew for some uninterrupted sports conversation. As always, views from section 400. I'm Matt, and I'm out.
How the fuck is Blonde the fifth best album of all time, Apple Music?